Hello. Hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for joining us for this mindful moment. Alrighty, let's begin. Hello, my name is Dan and this is a mindful moment. We meet for just to kind of tune in and kind of take a moment during the chaos of our day-to-day living to just kind of be more present. Each class consists of a brief introduction and review, then a topic of discussion, a guided meditation of about 10 to 15 minutes, and then a koan, which is a Zen riddle, or in this case, a little bit more of a lesson to end each class, which will then be discussed at the beginning of next class. Alright, let's get started. And we'll continue with our opening ceremonies by setting an intention. Each practice we like to set an intention, which is a dedication for the practice. And we seal in those intentions, whatever it is, with a deep breath in. Long breath out. Kevin, I see you're calling me. If you want to tune in, if you are tuning in live, please just. Hey, Kev.
Hey, Dan. How you doing?
Good. You're on the stream.
What?
You're on a live stream right now. Yeah.
Hell yeah! I'm with Daniel too.
Nice. Well, let me remind you that The Real Meditation is How You Live Your Life by Jon Kabat-Zinn.
Thank you.
Yeah. How are you all doing?
We're just chilling outside in our backyard with Taco.
Nice.
Some people meditating on them. People watching. But dude, I was just wanted to call you about possibly having my class do something with you next week, just for fun, make online school a little less boring for them.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we could talk when you're done streaming if you want.
That sounds great, man. I would really love that opportunity. I appreciate it.
And then about the flight too. I think you should still fly out if you're willing.
Okay. All right. We'll definitely talk about that too.
We can talk about it. Give me a call later.
All right. Much love.
Talk to you. Bye.
All right. Peace. Thank you all for tuning in. That is my friend Kevin as well. He's out in Colorado. So now we will review the words of wisdom from yesterday. It went as follows. Shunzen held out his short staff and said, "If you call this a short staff, you oppose reality. If you do not call it a short staff, you ignore fact. What do you wish to call it?" Right? And it kind of sets up the question. It's kind of entrapment in some kind of ways. But it's very similar to the paradox of this statement is false. Which is, so if this statement is false, then it becomes a true statement. If it's otherwise it's false, it's simply a paradox. So it points to the nature of dualistic thinking. Short, long, good, bad. Reality is what it is. By looking deeply at things, we can start to see their truer natures. In this way, we do not oppose or ignore reality. We do not reduce it down to one simple characteristic. We are embracing it for what it really is. And I think that's perhaps one of the lessons we can derive from the story of the staff, right? The staff isn't a short staff. It isn't a long staff. I'm not going to reduce it to its singular characteristic. It is simply a staff. And I'm not ignoring that fact. And now we'll talk briefly about our working definition of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a combination of awareness, equanimity, and concentration. Awareness is the recognition of existence. I am and I know that I am. Equanimity is the unconditional acceptance of what is now, and concentration is the intention to keep the mind's attention on the cultivation of awareness and equanimity. So again, just kind of a valuable reminder of the definition, or of our working definition of mindfulness. Beautiful. So our topic of discussion for today is, what is concentration? Well, concentration, textbook definition, is the action or power of focusing one's attention or mental effort. In the context of particularly meditation and mindfulness, it's one-pointedness of mind. It consists of forcing the mind to remain in one static point. Now, force doesn't mean necessarily violently or overtly. It simply means to influence. So when we're concentrating, it does have that kind of deliberate nature and intention. It does have a direction towards it. That's perhaps another way to put it, directional. So here again are the pillars of mindfulness: awareness, equanimity, and concentration. And we can see how kind of attention is a thread that kind of can maybe ties all of these things together. However, concentration is the thing that kind of directs attention. It directs it to awareness, it directs it to equanimity, it directs it to, whatever we're concentrating on. So I think this is kind of maybe a valuable way to kind of visualize this conceptualization as well. Skillful concentration. So what is skillful concentration? Skillful concentration is derived from the kind of Buddhist Eightfold Path perspective on concentration. The skill of concentrating is focusing the mind solely on one thing. It can be whatever we are doing in that moment. Meditation is the tool to practice focus or to practice concentration. It's not the only tool to practice focus and concentration, but it is a tool. When we think of meditation, we often think of someone sitting like a pretzel or generally doing something very passive. But meditation is more than just sitting. We can practice it doing anything: going for a walk, eating with loved ones, doing essentially any activity. All of these things can be viewed as meditation and mindfulness. The opposite of concentration is distraction. Whether it's a chime or thoughts or advertisements, distraction stops us from seeing life as it truly is. And that's a really kind of powerful point, that distraction stops us from seeing life as it truly is. Have you ever noticed a different building or park or whatever house that you've never noticed before? When we practice skillful concentration, when we broaden our awareness and start to attend with more presence to our life, it can be about slowing down and seeing what we have not seen before. Similarly, we can also use concentration to sit with our emotions or sit with our feelings. It's not easy to kind of sit with a difficult feeling or a challenging emotion or whatever. So taking concentration and applying it towards those situations kind of puts us in that situation. Concentration seeks insight. And the goal of concentration is often to find insight. And briefly, I'd like to discuss just the differences between insight meditation versus concentration meditation. And I do think it's kind of a false dualism and a little bit of an over dichotomy. But to discuss the point, mindfulness is generally considered an insight meditation, which means that full attention is in the present moment without trying to alter or manipulate the experience. Concentration meditation, on the other hand, uses particular focus. You become one with the area or with the object of focus, whether this be a mantra or or it could be an object of meditation such as a candle or anything like that. Transcendental meditation. Those are all forms of concentration meditation. Forms of mindfulness meditation would be insight, zazen, which would be sitting and doing nothing, or like an expressive movement. So I believe this is a false dualism, because you cannot really have one without the other. As we use concentration in the form of mindfulness to kind of reground ourselves on the aspects of mindfulness, to when you're experiencing a concentration practice and things kind of just arise into awareness, those are forms of insight. So I think these two things are inexplicably intertwined. Awesome. So now I would like to present to you the monkey business illusion.
The monkey business illusion. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the ball. The correct answer is 16 passes. Did you spot the gorilla? For people who haven't seen or heard about a video like this before, about half miss the gorilla. If you knew about the gorilla, you probably saw it, but did you notice the curtain changing color or the player on the black team leaving the game? Let's rewind and watch it again. Here comes the gorilla, and there goes a player, and the curtain is changing from red to gold. When you're looking for a gorilla, you often miss other unexpected events. And that's the monkey business illusion. Learn more about this illusion and the original gorilla experiment at theinvisiblegorilla.com.
So I think, yeah, that's just a powerful illustration. So it just kind of goes to show how, when you're looking for one thing, you're missing another thing. And even when you think you know what you're looking for, you're going to miss other things. I really like that the curtain changed because, I'd seen the gorilla before, so I was anticipating the gorilla. But the curtain change was like something kind of subconscious, wasn't something I totally was aware of. Maybe I subtly noticed. And then the going from 6 players to 5 players, that was great because at the beginning they're standing like that, and at the end there's one less person. So even if you just kind of notice that there's one less person, you would have noticed that someone walked out. But again, it's simply what you're attending to. I think that's really fascinating. Good. And now, having discussed thoroughly the aspects of concentration, we're going to get into our meditation on concentration. Every breath counts for mindful exercises. Bodhapska, a Tibetan Buddhist author and professor, said this about concentration. Concentration allows us to really enjoy what we are doing. Whether it be in the country or in reading a book, writing, or talking, or thinking. Concentration allows us to think more clearly and deeply. When we first start practicing, we may find our mind wandering quite a bit. Concentration practice helps us train the mind and focus by giving it something to do. Like mindfulness, concentration takes time. And over time, the mind will learn to focus and let go of distracting thoughts of its own. So find a comfortable sitting posture on a chair or cushion. You want a nice, straight spine, but allow your muscles to relax. Briefly check into your body, noticing any tension starting in your face, just allowing that to relax. Any tension in your jaw or neck, and chest, and abdomen, legs, all the way down to your feet. Just spreading awareness throughout your body and checking in. Now notice where you feel the breath in your body. You may feel it in your abdomen, or your chest, or perhaps on the tip of your nose. Just notice wherever you feel the breath the most. Pick that one place and begin focusing on that sensation. Good. Now we're going to begin counting the breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Continue like this. Inhale. Exhale 3. All the way up to 8. Inhale. Exhale 4. On your own now. All the way up to 8. And continue like this. And whenever you get all the way up to 8, Begin again at 1. At your own pace. Counting the breaths. Remember, the counting serves as an aid to practice, giving the mind something extra on which to focus. It is not a competition or measurement of how well you're doing. Returning the sensation of the breath, counting each breath, and then starting again. When the mind wanders, just come back to the breath. Bring attention to the breath, counting each breath to 8, and starting again. There's nothing magic about the number 8. It's as good as number as any. Counting the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Starting again. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it back as many times as necessary. Simply noticing how many times your mind wanders just in this short period of time. Returning attention to the counting and the breath. We are concentrating and focusing, preoccupying our mind on counting and beginning again. The breath. When the mind wanders, notice it. When the mind is concentrated, notice that as well. Whenever your mind wanders, turning again, the sensation of your breathing, wherever you feel it most, and gently counting the breath. It can be 8, it can be any number. Just let the counting be your mantra and concentrate on it. Not allowing for any distractions. Simply focusing on, concentrating on, counting, and the breath. Simply noticing if your mind finds any ease in the comfort of concentration. Good. And now, the next time you get to the top of whatever your number chain may be, you're going to let it go. Begin to expand concentration, expand awareness, your presence around us. Concentrating on any sounds, any sensations, any feelings, your state of minds. Once again, just seeing how far we can broaden concentration, how far we can broaden our awareness. Good. And now, we bring ourselves back to our center, back to the focus on our breath. Not trying to change it. Simply finding stillness and the concentration on the breath. And as we allow our eyes to open, and we continue through our day, noticing how our mind can be focused or wandering, and the power of concentration. Thank you. Lovely. So with that, our parting wisdom for today. When asked why he practiced Zen, the student said, "Because I intend to become a Buddha." His teacher picked up a brick and started polishing it. The student asked, "What are you doing?" The teacher replied, "I'm trying to make a mirror." "How can you make a mirror by polishing a brick?" "How can you become a Buddha by doing Zazen?" If you understand sitting Zen, then you know Zen is not sitting or lying down. If you want to know sitting Buddha, you have to know sitting Buddha without any fixed form. Do not use discrimination in the non-abiding Dharma. If you practice sitting Buddha, you must kill Buddha. If you are attached to sitting form, you are not mastering the essential principle. The student heard this admonition and felt as if he had tasted sweet nectar. So this is more of a story or a lesson to be discussed at the beginning of next class. Thank you all for taking the time, for being here this evening, or tuning in for any moment. Much love, appreciation, always. Best ventures until next time. Thank you.